My singing style is an amalgamation of a lot of different people that I've heard over the years, but there's a handful or so that I'm very aware of. When I listen to the playback of a recording of a gig that I've done, I'll hear things and I'll think, ah, I know where I cribbed that from. um, One of those singers is Elvis Presley. Um, his use of vibrato and the first time I ever heard Elvis was on TV. He was singing a song called "The Promised Land." Now, when I was young, I couldn't fully process a piece of music the first time I heard it. It was so overwhelming to me that it was such a sensory experience to me that I had to hear things a number of times before I could kind of wrap my head around something. So when I saw Elvis in the early 70s on TV singing The Promised Land, um, this will sound like an exaggeration or a very bad Elvis impression, but this is what it sounded like to me at that age. That's really what I heard. Now that's a parody of what Elvis did. He didn't really sound like that exactly, but that's what it sounded like to me, and I thought it sounded great. So I do hear some Elvis isms in the way that I sing, and another one that comes to mind is Eric Carmen. He did this thing that wasn't exactly a falsetto, but it sounded high. And so, as a singer, I don't have much of a falsetto. So, if I need to get a sound that feels high without actually being a falsetto, I'll go into Eric Carmen mode for a couple of notes to accomplish that. And I don't know how to describe exactly what's going on in the mouth and the throat, but I know what it sounds like. I know it when I hear it. It sounds like this. All by myself, don't wanna live all by myself anymore. It's very filled with emotion. It's very expressive, but it isn't exactly a falsetto, and it's something that I can do. So I throw that into songs that I do sometimes. It's a very handy arrow to have in the quiver. Um, Another one is B.J. Thomas. Um, like like Elvis, he would waver around a note intentionally, um, and it didn't have the effect of sounding pitchy. It had the effect of sounding cool. Um, Sometimes it was very pronounced, like because I'm free, nothing's worrying me, right? Or on the more up tempo numbers, that's when I really dug what he was doing. I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that just the way he would waver around some of those notes sounded very cool to me, and I definitely hear myself doing that sometimes. I got it from him and others. Um, Sam Cooke was another guy who would intentionally waver around a note, and I hear myself sounding a little like the way he might approach a song, especially when I'm doing his songs. Um, Here's a man in evening clothes. How he got here, I don't know. Ah, man, you ought to see him go, twisting the night away. So I get some of that stuff from listening to Sam Cooke. Johnny Rivers is an odd inclusion on this list. His vocal style has never really been flashy, but it's always been effective and sometimes endearing and charming. Um, and it's a nice respite for me when I'm doing a gig and I'm doing a bunch of songs like Run Around Sue, or I'm pushing lots of air, Let's Twist Again like we did last summer, where I'm pushing a lot of air to sing those notes. And it's kind of nice to take a break and just do a Johnny Rivers style vocal. Long distance information, give me Memphis, Tennessee, because it's not hard and it's effective. It's a nice change of pace. The last one I'll mention that I cite as a big influence on my singing style would be Dion DiMucci, Dion and the Belmonts. Songs like Teenager in Love, Run Around Sue, The Wanderer, that kind of stuff. I very much liked the whoa, whoa, whoas kind of stuff that he would do. Whoa! You know, like that. And also the way that he would scat would catch my ear. And so if I ever do anything like that, I know, oh, I got that from listening to Dion. Things like dun diddle dun diddle that kind of stuff. Yeah, if I ever do anything like that and plug that into a song, I know it's something I picked up from listening to Dion. So let's see, that's Elvis, B.J. Thomas, Sam Cooke, Johnny Rivers, Eric Carmen, Dion. Yeah. Those are the 6 that I really hear. And I feel like my singing style is an amalgamation of those, and of course others. If I really thought about it, I could probably come up with dozens of vocal influences. Not necessarily a vocal influence, but someone that I think I'm kind of copacetic with is Sam McFadden of Flash Cadillac and the Continental Kids. Sometimes when I hear the playback of my singing, I think, I think Sam McFadden would have sung it like that. Anyway, that's just some thoughts about who my top vocal influences are, the people who have helped me formulate a singing style just from listening to the stuff that they've done. Later.